Hey everyone, I found a new website that I think I'm really going to love, and I'm going to share with you how you can use it in your class, especially your remote classes. It's called Classroom Screen. So I'm going to go to Classroom Screen right now and show you something that took me about 5 minutes to create. This is a place where I can put everything I need for my class on one page. Within this website, it includes embedded links, and it has a lot of extra options for you that might be handy when teaching remotely or hybrid or in class. And so I'm going to just show you mine really quick. Literally, I did not spend very much time on this at all. I have the clock telling the time. I have the date. I stuck in a media file of my Bitmoji saying second semester. I have a random name picker of my students. I have a YouTube embedded video playing Happy Birthday for Martin Luther King Jr. And I have a Google slide of the lesson that I'm going to share with my students. And there are many other things you can add. And I'm going to start from scratch and show you how I made this. By the way, it's embedded, so like I can play it through the slideshow here. I can also enlarge it and make that part full screen, which is really handy. Okay, so I'm going to go to my Go page, and I just wanted you to know that you can add this to your Go page. There's mine, it's hiding behind my picture. Classroom Screen is what you're looking for. So if you go to the plus button to open the app library and type Classroom Screen, you will find this icon here. So it's pretty popular and already in our app. You don't have to make your own, find your own fake icon. It's already in the Go button. So that's helpful for me. I use Go all the time. So I'm going to go back. If I open it, I'm going to get to this page. You need to make an account and log in with your school Gmail account. Once you do that, when you start fresh, you're always going to just click Launch. So I'm clicking Launch, and it's going to open my home page. It's running a little bit slower because I have a Loom going. It's going to automatically start a fresh screen, and it's going to dump in a background picture. I never want to use a picture that in the background necessarily because I want it to be plain and easy and less distractions. So I changed my background. First, I'm going to show you the home button. It's upper left. And I have now oh, here it is. This is the one. I have two tabs open. See up at the top of my toolbar, I have this one is the one I created, and this one here is a new one. Notice it's not finding the one that I already created. It's like I have the website open twice. That is because I am only using the free version right now, and you can see the little yellow star. To upgrade, it costs $30 for a year per teacher in order to get the premium version, which I'm highly considering because there's two main issues with the free version. The first is you cannot save your screens. You have to create a screen while you're in the website. When you close the website, they disappear forever with the free version. Now, it only took me a few minutes to create that screen, and I can create a new one every day. The problem is if I would accidentally close it out in the middle of class or something, it would disappear. And so it would be helpful to pay the $30 if you find this tool to be something that it really could change your life, I think. The other thing about the free version is if you're going to use student names as a name picker, you only get 3 rosters to insert, and I have more than 3 classes. So unless you're an elementary school teacher, I can't imagine that 3 is enough for anyone. And so that's another reason to pay for the upgrade. But I'm showing you the free version right now. I have not upgraded yet, but I probably will. Okay, so I'm going to open this new screen. I'm going to basically walk you through all the tools. So I'm going to open. And here is this picture. I don't want this picture anymore. The widget the widget panel or the tools bar is on the bottom, and you've got settings over here on the side that opens. And you can always go back to your home page. So I'm going to change a background, and I'm just going to go right down in the row and talk about all of these options for you. So clicking background, and it doesn't normally take quite this long because I have a Loom video. I'm going to choose turquoise solid as a background, and they have other pictures. You can insert your own picture if you like. So now I have plain Jane, bright color. That's what I want. Okay, here's where you can do the random name picker, and I think this is fun for attendance. I do have some lists made already, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how I inserted them so you don't have to type them all. I went into my Google Sheet, and I'm going to go to AP5 class, and I need these students picked right here, and I have them by first name only, so I'm literally just going to copy and paste. And I'm going back to this one, paste. And now my random name picker is done. I have 21 students that hour. You can have up to 100. You can hit the gear wheel and change the color. Right here in this arrow, you can change the size. That's as small as you can make it. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit choose and show you what it does. Okay, it's running through the people, and Jason was chosen, so he gets to share an answer. Let me show you. You can change the background to get rid of the big white box by clicking the gear wheel and going to background color. Maybe I just want it to match my background so it doesn't take up as much space. And the other thing I wanted to show you in the gear wheel is, this is a pretty cool option. Go to the widget options, arrow down, and you can see I'm going to turn on remember chosen students. So Jason is now X'd out, and he cannot be picked again because he was already picked once. If I want Jason to be able to go again, I could hit the trash can, and then his name would be removed from that list. But this is the cool function here. I can arrow down and see all the students. Let's say Lizzie is absent, and Lion is absent, and Kylie is absent today. And so now when I click out of that, I can see that their names have been added. So if you already know from attendance who's gone, you can take them out and not waste your time if they happen to get picked. Not a big deal, but kind of a neat feature. Okay, so I'm going to close this, and I'm going to show you the next item, which is the dice or die. You can pick 1, 2, or 3. Every time you click, it will make a noise. That's a setting you can change, and you can make this small, move it around. And so if you like to use a random die roller, you could do that. Another one is the sound level. I haven't messed with that, but it just adjusts sound. Okay, the media button is probably the most important, or one you're going to use the most. So I'm going to click media, and I'm going to insert an image. I have a Bitmoji saved in my downloads, and here it is. It's saying it's second semester now, and it gets dropped in there, and I have to change the size and pull down to get all the words in there. A little bit more. Like this. Okay, and that is has a remove background on there, so that's why it has no background. Let me pull this over, get the H on here, kind of play around with sizing. Okay, there. That's pretty big, but I can adjust that if I want. Okay, now under media, I'm also going to choose a YouTube video. So I need to put the link here. Well, up here I have one I want to share with my students. We're going to listen to Stevie Wonder sing Happy Birthday with his remake for Martin Luther King Jr. So I'm going to copy it, go back to my classroom page, paste it in, and hit play. And now it pops up. I move it from this middle T button. And so today I want it up in this corner. I can adjust the size. And I can also click here within YouTube, and because it's embedded, I can play it right here small, but I can also click this and make it large screen, and then just hit escape. So kind of a handy feature there. Okay, now I'm going to insert an embedded link for my Google Slide. So I'm going to go to embedded. And this is a little different than what you're used to. Maybe in slides, you just like to click the share button and copy that link. That is not the link to use. So I have one I'm going to share today. It's called just today's lesson. And I need to go to File, Publish to the Web, and click Embed, and copy this huge long list link here. Copy, go back to my class screen, paste it in, and click Run Code. And there is my embedded Google slide. I got to move it from this little box. The little circle there with the T. And I can make it bigger, move it wherever you want. Again, if I want to make it large, I can play it right here and it moves on, and I can click the arrow and slide to the next slides and so forth. But you can also just hit this enlarge button within Google Slides and go through, but then just hit escape and you're back to your this version of classroom screen. So that's pretty handy. But you do have to publish and use the embedded link, not just the copy and share link that we're kind of used to. Another option is the QR code. I have not used this, but if you have a student who wants to get to something you need and they want to use their phone or a second device, you literally can paste any link in here. So and then you just paste it, it'll create a QR code and you can leave that there for students to use with their camera. Another feature is the drawing features. Maybe you need to show them how to do math problem or draw something or spell something. It has all the options here, so you can draw something. And these are things you can add into, like maybe you don't need to have it all set up ahead of time, but you're just going to pull it up when you need it and then close it out so it's not filling up your screen. You surely don't have to have everything. I like to use the text box. You can type, change size, center, number, bullet, color, font, and play around with the size and all that. Background, here's the gear wheel to get there. And I'm moving kind of fast because there's so many things. I'm just kind of showing you the basics. They have work symbols, and this would be great if you're in class. I'm not sure if this would be as beneficial for remote learning, but it's defaulted to silent. So you can just have this on the screen. You can make it really big if you want. And then you can say, okay, I'm okay if you whisper right now, or let's do a pair share, talk to your neighbor, or we're going to do some group work. So this would be great if you had it on your screen and we're using this. Maybe you had a few students online, but most were hybrid in the room or something like that. Okay, I'm going to close that out. That'd be great maybe for elementary. Traffic light is cool. You can change the size. You can change the background to get rid of the background there. It's a little bit too big there. And let's say I want them on completely quiet. Or, okay, go ahead and get started. Or, okay, let's bring the volume down. So the traffic light is kind of cool. Again, go to the gear wheel to change the color or even the hue of the colors, but you just click on red, yellow, green. Timer's handy. I use this like, okay, I'm going to set the timer for, let's see here. Trying to get this reset. Okay, so I've got 4-minute timer, hit play. You can change the music out when it's over and it'll just ding. So there's a nice little timer countdown. You also have a stopwatch. I like to use timers better to count down instead of stopwatch counting up. And I like the clock just to keep me like, okay, here's the time. Maybe you're going to count down to when class ends. But if you make it smaller, I like that it shows the analog and the digital. But when you make it smaller, the analog will go away and it'll just be the regular. It'll show the time. But this literally, if you pull it down enough to get the analog, it will show it even to the second. So great for teaching time for all grade levels. Okay, so that's the clock. And the calendar I also like. It's a little bit bigger. And for the calendar, again, same thing. Today is the 19th, but if I arrow, I can take the whole calendar away, the month, and it will just show me today's date and day and year, and you can move that wherever you like. Okay, so this arrow here moves the widgets away or the toolbar and pull from this arrow up to find them. And over here, you've got some options under the gear wheel that you can type and add and change your background right here. So sometimes you can do it in more than one place, depending on what you're working with. Going to your home page now, it's going to have that saved for me right here. And I might want to name this Avid January 19th. And there it's saved. But if I close this link out, it is gone forever unless I upgrade. And there is a way to add a group maker right here, and I can pull students. And it makes up a new title here, but I can go to open and choose from my list. I already have a list of students, so I'm going to choose this group here and hit next. It's kind of handy. It creates my groups. I can just use the slider. I want to have 8 groups of 3 students, create groups. And it's going to generate these groups for me. And I can say that Caitlin and Anna probably shouldn't work together. So I'm going to move Caitlin to this group and Jake back over to this group. So it's generated, but it's adjustable. So that's really handy. And so that's kind of handy. And then you could just share this on your screen. Okay, here are your groups. So that's pretty cool. I'm going back to my home screen. They have a polling option, but it doesn't work online yet. You can reopen that group right there that you already created. Personalize. There's where your account settings are. They do have some helpful things under the Help Center if you want to just watch some videos and not me. The main thing is if you close this out, it is gone forever. But right now I don't want to do that. I'm going to open it because I'm going to use this today. And remember that your name picker, I'm going to keep my Google Sheet open because I have more than 3 classes. It allows you to do 3. But if you only have 3 classes because of hybrid, you can get by with it for that day. You just have to insert them each day. You can have them ready though. So hope you have found some things out about Classroom Screen. I think it's really powerful, and boy, I think it's going to make life a lot easier. I wish I would have found this out a lot sooner. And I think it might be worth the upgrade. So I'm going to give it a try with the free version for a while. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know and I might be able to answer them. This is Classroom Screen.